Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. To my left, I've got Jay again. So, welcome back, Jay.
It's a pleasure to be here. Hope you're doing well.
Um, Very well. And the transfer window closed. Hope you are well.
I'm all right, mate. I'm a little bit stressed, but I'm all right.
Yeah. What did you think to the deadline day and the world transfer window?
I thought overall it was, it was a good day. I thought we signed a couple of good players, Bowler, Bade, and then Bolly as well. So you've got two quality defenders, and then you've got Josh Bowler who's gone on loan to Olympiacos, another good player. So I'm impressed with it, to be honest. I thought it was a good day. I don't know how I feel about Batshuayi. I'm a little bit gutted we didn't get him in some ways, but in others I'm not really that bothered because I think we've got Sam Sturridge there anyway, who's a proven striker for me, and I really, really like him. So, I would say it's a good day overall. Made some good deals and whatever else. So, yeah, I think it was good.
And I think that was on everyone's lips. Sam Sturridge, everyone wanted him to stay, and inevitable he has stayed. So, I think there'll be a few happy Reds this morning.
Well, 100%, yeah. I said to people were saying to me, "Is he going on loan? Is he going to leave permanently?" I said, "No." The whole time he's not going anywhere, and people didn't listen. But all I'm going to say is, I said it from the start. Surridge ain't going nowhere. He loves Forest, he loves Cooper, and he loves the project. So there's big things coming for him for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the good thing as well is that all the new signings, bar Bowler, will be in the squad for against Bournemouth, which is a good thing as well.
Yeah, and obviously, a game like Bournemouth where we need to be winning, we need to have all the best options, and we need to have the best starting 11. So yeah, they need to make sure they win that game, and bringing in these new signings is hopefully going to help that.
Mm. Yeah, all day long, and especially after the 3-8, what as a lot of people said that against City on Wednesday, to get the new reinforcement that would just lift everyone. And then Cooper wouldn't let the heads down anyway after Wednesday night.
No, look, when it comes to City, I think that City are a fantastic team. They're a team that has won a lot. Obviously, not the Champions League yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do win it this time. However many months,
Mm.
because I think they've been fantastic, and the team that they played was just amazing. Bernardo Silva, Haaland, of course. You got to talk about their midfielders as well, who just linked up the play in between the three segments of the field. So I thought they were brilliant. They're a hard team to come against. Things we could have done better, perhaps not wasting possession as much. But other than that, I thought it was unfortunately an inevitable thing we were going to lose, but it's just unfortunate by that scoreline.
Mm. And yeah, it is to a I mean, the fan base on Wednesday. I mean, I've said it quite a few times this season, but the fan base was start to finish. It was unbelievable, and even at the end, I mean, it's seen videos of the players going over to thanking the players. Um, it was unbelievable.
And do you know what? And that's what I like about Forest, because regardless of what the scoreline is, regardless of who scored, regardless of how much money spent on a team, or regardless of whatever, our fans, we were 6-0 down and we were still singing. And I think that's important, because for me, City fans only were singing when they got close to scoring or anything else. They didn't sing for the rest of the game. So I thought, in terms of on the pitch, they're fantastic, but the atmosphere is really dull. And that's not being sour in any way, but from what my observation was, they didn't have a very good atmosphere. And you've got to give it to the Forest away fans, because no matter what, they sing all the time, and the players go over and thank them for that, and Steve Cooper does. So I like that about Forest. It's important.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the fan base tomorrow will be that 12th man against Bournemouth. You mentioned as well that it is a must win game in one way. I mean, it'd be nice to bounce back with that win against Bournemouth, who sacked their manager last week.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a team that wants to come and show people that they're not just a team that goes and loses 9-0. They don't want to be a team that just goes and loses every game and gets relegated straight away. They want to put up a fight, and that's just how football works. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a rollover. Forest aren't just going to roll over Bournemouth and just beat them easily. You know, because equally we want to prove something after those two losses against Tottenham and Man City. You know, Bournemouth got a draw against Wolves, did okay, but they didn't look like they wanted to score. So two teams that aren't really scoring enough in Forest and Bournemouth, and two teams that want to make a point. I think Saturday's going to be really, really exciting, and either team, this is a pretty big decider to see where they stand this season for me.
Yeah, oh, it will be, and it will be a big decider, and both teams will be going into it thinking, yeah, we're going, oh, that should be a 3 pointer there, so 100%.
Mm. And
Um,
yeah, and you know what? At the end of the day, it's like maybe I should word it better. It's not the deciding factor, if you like, but it's a big part of this season because if we don't beat these teams that are beatable, then we're going to have struggles. You know, and we're going to be fighting for relegation from here until whenever. So yeah, it's just about laying down some solid foundations for the rest of the season.
yeah, all day long, to be fair. I mean, what would you do regarding the team from for the Bournemouth game? Would you throw any of the new signings in, or would you change it, or what would you do?
I would for that game. I'd start a 1E. I'd start a 1E up front with Johnson. Potential to bring Surridge on a little bit later on, and then if you wanted to switch to a 4-3-3, you could. Because for me, I think a 1E's he's got to provide that physical element to wear out the defence. And give Bournemouth some challenge. Now, I think he can do that. He did it at West Ham. He did parts of it at Everton as well, just didn't get that end product. So for me, I think player one he'd start, play him alongside Johnson, have Morgan Gibbs White, I would say, as the number 10. And then, Lewis O'Brien and maybe Freuler as the two centre mids. I've got no problem with Ryan Yates. I just thought at times against Man City, he was just watching the ball a little bit too much, just letting it go past him. And that was a bit weird for me. So I thought he was good, but I just thought that was a criticism I would make, but it's only constructive. But I'd like to see Freuler there. But in terms of the defence, I'd maybe like to see Bade get a start, and if not, I'd like to see Worrell as the centre back and Biancone as the right centre back, and then Nico Williams right, and then Lodi as the left. So that would be my team for it. I don't know how you're feeling about that.
Uh, I don't know. Part of me thinks I know people like a man of habit and they don't like changing too much. I will actually go with back four tomorrow for some reason. With it being Bournemouth, I would don't know. I'll actually go with Williams, Worrell, McKenna, and Lodi for some reason. I don't know why. I just got this instinct.
Would you do a 4-2-3-1?
I probably would to a fair with
Hmm.
Brennan on the wing and Rainey up front.
Who would you
And
have
like,
on the left wing? Are you going to have Dennis?
yeah, you could make it into a 4-3-3 with Dennis, Brennan, and Rooney. Then your three midfielders, you can either mix it up and put the lad from Palace, I can't pronounce his name.
Kuyate.
Uh, yeah, him
Hmm.
as that pivotal to that number four. Then have O'Brien and Fuller as the two central midfielders,
Yeah.
and
I
just
wasn't
try and.
I was just got
Hello?
to say I wasn't mad impressed with Kuyate against
Mm,
City for me. I
yeah.
thought he looked a bit lost, and him and Joe Worrell didn't seem to have the best chemistry there.
Mm,
And I'm not saying that they were arguing or anything because I don't know if they were. You'd be reading too deeply into it to say that, but
yeah.
just like that, there was a conflict of communication at times. So yeah, he did okay in midfield, but for me, not in defence with Worrell again.
No, I mean that's the sort of that. The only thing I would do is bring Cook back into that back three, and go with Dennis and only up front with Brennan as your. Or even not even play Brennan and play Gibbs White in that number 10 role. Not saying that Brennan don't deserve to start. I just think taking him out the scenario and might and change it up a little bit. Might um, give it a good go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of whether you want to experiment against Bournemouth and try something new, or you want to just keep the clean slate and go with what you usually do. So
Yeah,
it's a tough decision, but I'm glad that we're not Steve Cooper making it because it's not an easy one.
and that's the good thing as well. Especially with that squad now. I mean, last season it was quite predictable,
Hmm.
but this season now it's like you've got so many different options you can go with. You don't know who to choose.
Yeah, but that's the joy of it as well. And the other thing is, it's not just about the players you've got specifically in that position; it's about players that can play in that position as well. So
Yeah.
you've got people like Loddy who could probably go. I don't know, maybe could go as a left winger. I wouldn't really do it for me, but he could do it, I'm sure. Kuyate can go into that centre back if you needed him to. Let's hope he doesn't have to.
Mm.
But there's people that can play in loads of different positions, which is important when it comes to injuries and stuff. So, yeah, I'm impressed by it. I think the strategy for transfers is going to work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's good thing as well because you can change it in game as well.
Hmm.
But I mean, Forest proving it a little bit because they bought when they bought Amundon against Gunsbury, Yates just went into that centre half position. Now he's been doing it all the whole time he's been playing. So it's nice to have that flexibility in that squad when you need to.
Hmm. Yeah, having the flexibility and things like that, is so important. And we've seen it with injuries. Anything can happen. Anybody can get injured. But you know what? Anybody can be, not replaced, but covered. With the signings that we've made, which is really important. So, yeah, the strategy has been really good, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. You got a score prediction for tomorrow.
Going to say 2-1 Forest.
You got any particular goal scorers?
And I just want to clarify before I say I am being dead harsh because I think Forest can do more, but that's my prediction. But for me, goal scorers tomorrow, Taiwo Awoniyi and Lewis O'Brien.
Mm. Ooh. I, I take that actually. I mean, O'Brien, if he had that shot when he did against City in Wednesday night, it might have been a different story. I mean, that's the other thing with the chances we had on Wednesday as well. If
Mm.
Lowly took Ace and O'Brien out, and even Brennan and Gibbs White, it might have been a different story.
Mm. And that's it. It's about taking the chances that we have, albeit we didn't have many, but just get a shot in. But Brennan came fairly close, didn't he? And I was so rooting for him to score that, and I think he would have, if it was a however many, whatever wide. But yeah, it was unfortunate, but we came close a couple of times. We could have had a goal or two.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, what did you think to Lowly as well?
Good player. He struggled against Bernardo Silva. I'd be naive to say that Bernardo Silva didn't run rings around him. But at the end of the day, he couldn't be dragged out of position. Bernardo Silva almost did a lolly, if you like. He would go down the right wing and then all of a sudden bring it into the middle. So, yeah, I thought Bernardo Silva was brilliant and presented a real challenge to Lodi. But at the same time, Lodi was good getting up the pitch,
Mm,
tried to put in a cross in here and there, and nearly got the goal to start with. So I was impressed by him. I think he's a bit of an upgrade for me, but I like Topolo a lot. But I think Lodi's just a bit more inspiring up front. I don't think that Toffolo has that same attacking edge. That being said, though, Toffolo does make a lot of good crosses. So um, early days for Lodi, but I think he had a good debut against
mm,
a very hard side.
yeah, it looked it watching it on BT. It looked like what he was doing. It was doing well. I mean, it's nice to have that bit of competition now. I mean, on that left hand side because we've not been a very long while since we had two good left backs.
Hmm.
Well, three when we got Richards back.
Well, yeah, you've got to think about it like this, Dan. You've still got Richards to come into the equation.
Yeah.
When he'll come into that equation, I don't know. If he'll come into it before Christmas, I don't know. I've not heard anything about him, so he's a bit of a mystery case at the moment. To be honest, you spend 8 million on him. It's not a massive, huge amount of money, but you still want to get something out of him. You spent money on him, and he's come from Bayern Munich, and he's really, really good over there. So, but yeah, he's one of those players where you don't want to risk putting him in now. You don't want to risk making it worse. Otherwise, it could go on for a long, long time. So,
Um,
yeah, I think Lodi's good for now, and I think he'll do what he needs to do. And who knows, he could be a permanent option next year. Who knows?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you want to say about your socials?
Yeah, if anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, you can at I'm Jamie Martin. That's my Twitter. You can also follow me on YouTube at the Media Man, and if you want to follow us on the Media Man on Facebook as well, you can do. Yeah, we got a new stream up from last night with Max from the Red 1865. So if you want to go and have a listen, some good chat in there, talking about our thoughts on transfer window, and some other players, and bringing you some live updates from deadline day. So if you want to go and have a listen, please do. But Dan, thank you for having me on.
Alright, so no worries. Do it. Jay up on his socials and his YouTube. The link will be in the chat in the title, anyways, for you to jump on to Jay's YouTube. So, thank you for coming on anyway.
Cheers, thank you.
It's I'll catch you guys later.